Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dime One, and I am back with another video. You know what you guys do: rate, comment, subscribe. Please believe, hit that notification bell so it'll let you know when my next video or live stream goes down. Also, follow me at my other social media applications. I'm gonna try to have the link in the description below. But anywho, this comes from Bleacher Report, and also it comes from me because I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Well, not a couple of weeks. Well, earlier last week when we got the news that Paul George was going to be traded to the Los Angeles Clippers, and I told you guys on that live stream, do not be surprised of what Sam Presti probably going to trade away Russell Westbrook, and that's what's going to happen. I told you guys that I feel like the possibility of Russell Westbrook being traded is not going to happen anytime soon. I felt like if the earliest is maybe the upcoming season before the trade deadline, but I felt like really nothing's going to be official. No moves are going to be made until after the end of this upcoming season into close to free agency, where they could possibly explore trades to trade Russell Westbrook from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Also talk to you guys. What's up, dude? Also talk to you guys and share with you guys the direction of the Oklahoma City Thunder and Sam Presti. Obviously, Sam Presti feels like the Oklahoma City Thunder cannot contend or compete with a lot of teams in the Western Conference, because a lot of teams got good this free agency period. And I'm going to be talking about that and making a video about my top 6 teams in the West that's going to be contending for the playoffs this year, as well as the East. I'm going to do that video and talk about it on my podcast. I got a new podcast on iTunes. It's I'm Chris the Dime One podcast. Go subscribe, support it, check it out. Give it a 5-star rating and a glorious review. You can, I uploaded an episode, an introduction, a couple of days ago. So go check that out. And I'm also going to be talking to you guys sometime today. So with that being said, let's get into Russell Westbrook being traded to the away from the Oklahoma City Thunder. I told you guys there's a possibility that he can go to the Miami Heat. I was the first to tell you guys before ESPN, before Bleacher Report, that I didn't want to say this team because a lot of people are going to be looking at me, sideways. But I also said, be looking out for Russell Westbrook possibly going to the Detroit Pistons. I think they have enough cap flexibility, plus they have assets that they can move around. And they're not extremely over the cap, but I do have concerns of them with the Blake Griffin contract. How you going to fit that contract in with Russell Westbrook, particularly when you already lock in a lot of players, and a lot of players that can play like Blake Griffin on the Detroit Pistons. So I told you guys that would be a possibility. Obviously, people are talking about the New York Knicks. A lot of you guys talked to me yesterday talking about how it's going to work, what pieces are going to have to be moved. It can't be pieces that they just signed, because if they do that, they will have to wait. They're going to have to wait a little bit later to trade those just signed picks. Okay, so but like I told you guys, I don't expect nothing concrete when you talk about Russell Westbrook being traded. I don't really see anything officially being done or happen until after the end of this upcoming NBA season, close to around the free agent period. Earliest I could possibly see something getting done around the trade deadline. I want to, if I had to hedge my bet, sort of say, none of this stuff is going to go down until after this upcoming season, closer to the free agency period, where you can get multiple teams, because obviously the Oklahoma City Thunder, Russell Westbrook, and the team that they're going to trade him to, like let's just say the Miami Heat, they're going to need a third team to help them get this done, because they're going to have to swap and move a lot of contracts just to fit Russell Westbrook contract in. But the one team that's a head scratcher to me, even though I have heard rumors about this, is the possibility of Russell Westbrook going to the Houston Rockets. Daryl Morey, he's always trying to be ahead of the curve, so to say, and him, I wonder to be interested if Wiggins and I'm gonna try to explore that briefly, but I want to get this on out of the way. The Rockets and Daryl Morey is very interested in signing trading for Russell Westbrook. And the dynamic, obviously Chris Paul is going to be moved, because the Rockets do not have that much salary cap. So obviously Clint Capella, definitely Chris Paul are going to have to be involved in a trade for this to work, for this to transpire. Cap-wise, that's the only way they can fit Russell Westbrook contract, because Russell Westbrook got a lot of money on the books, okay, a lot of money, okay. I think 1 year you have to pay him like $30 million. I mean, that's a lot of money, man. And I feel like you're going to have to definitely move Chris Paul to get this done. Now, the other dynamic is you're bringing Westbrook to James Harden. They used to play with one another. They're still friends. They both played on the Oklahoma City Thunder. But to me, I just don't see how this really fits and this really works, because you're trading for Russell Westbrook, who's a point guard, who's clearly a two guard, but you're going to position him as the point guard, particularly when you get rid of Chris Paul. And he's got the mentality of his style really don't necessarily fit in a system. He's pretty much the system, all right? And then you're going to pair him up with a two guard like James Harden, who, all he wants to do is just play offense, defense. He's not even attempting to try to waste a lot of energy on the defensive end, even though when he was with Oklahoma City Thunder, he was a pretty good defender. So I don't know what happened to James Harden, why he doesn't want to play defense no more. But he had the makings of being almost a complete two-way guard to play, on the offense and on the defensive end. So I just don't know what transpired and happened there when he got traded to the Houston Rockets, okay? So to me, I just don't see how this really fits, okay? And this is one of the reasons why Sam Presti did not want to sign James Harden to an extension, because if he would have signed James Harden to an extension, you got James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant on the same team. And even though it's a unique dynamic, even though they would have won a lot of ball games in the regular season, even though they would have broken records, ultimately I just don't see how two of those guys would have to sacrifice their touches and their ego to make this dynamic work. And I just don't see how this dynamic would have worked, okay? So the possibilities of Russell Westbrook going to the Houston Rockets, it's a head scratcher to me. I don't know how they was going to make it work, but they used to play with one another, so the chemistry is still there. They have a great relationship off the court. They're still friends. But I think Russell Westbrook is at the crossroads of he wants to contend and compete for a championship. And if Russell Westbrook come with a clear mind and an understanding that if I get traded to the Houston Rockets, I'm gonna have to cut my touches down, and he will fit brilliantly in Mike D'Antoni's system, where shooting the ball within 6 seconds. He will fit brilliantly that way. But when it gets into the postseason and things start slowing down, and tempo is very important, systems are very important, it becomes a half court game. I just don't see how that's going to work or transpire. Okay. I apologize for the person that came in and had a comment for me, but every time I try to swipe up and look at the comments, it's hard to pull them up. But if you're still in the building, just send the same comment again, because I can do some Q&As in the next couple of minutes, and then I gotta get my workout on. But that's what's going on. I don't see anything happening in the next 72 hours, in the next week, in the next couple of weeks, because that's a major trade. That is a huge major trade, particularly if he goes to the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets don't have a lot of salary cap space. So for that to work, the Houston Rockets are going to have to probably have to they're going to need a third team. They're going to need a third team to get that done. But I told you guys what I feel about it. I feel like that's a weird dynamic, and I feel like the only way that's going to truly work, Russell Westbrook is going to have the mindset is when he get traded to the Rockets, he's going to have to understand that he's going to have to give up a lot of touches, and he's going to have to sacrifice a lot to make this thing work. Because if he goes in there and say, I'm going to be the same old Russell Westbrook, they're going to have a lot of flashes of brilliance in the regular season. They're going to break a lot of records. They're going to win a lot of games. But none of that's going to matter in the postseason when things are slowed down and it's in a half-court setting. And you're really going to need a system, and ball movement is going to be a plus, particularly when you're moving the ball around. And that's where, it's going to be a problem. Okay? So, clearly the teams on the radar, I feel like if this deal gets done real quick, the teams that can make it truly work is the Knicks. They do have some salary cap flexibility, even though they're gonna have to move some pieces around. But clearly the best team that can just that can get this deal done very quickly is Detroit Pistons. They have draft picks. They also have players that are easily to be moved. Okay, they don't have other than Blake Griffin, they really don't have a lot of players that's eating up major salary cap space, and they can probably get it done. The Atlanta Hawks, in my opinion, can easily get this thing done. But they got Trae Young, so I just don't see why would they even entertain this trade. It's beyond me. The Miami Heat, they can clearly get this trade done, even though they don't have enough salary cap space. They will need a third team, but with Pat Riley and the Miami Heat organization, they desperately want to get this done. And they already got aspirations of going into the playoffs. Having Russell Westbrook with Jimmy buckets, clearly that's a 1-2 punch tandem that can go deep into the postseason. So that's all I got for today, guys. If you're watching the re-air of this, just type and comment down below. I will get back with you guys real fast, real quick. Like I said, you can follow me on my other social media applications like Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter as well. I also want to be having a podcast premiering on iTunes. Go support and check that out. I'm gonna be talking about some major things on that podcast. And guys, it's your boy. Like I said, if like, Share this content with your friends, family, followers. Give this a hit the like button. If you got comments, if you're watching the re-air of this, just comment down below and I will get back with you guys as soon as possible. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don 1 and I am out, boy.